We're already up in North Vancouver, crossing Howe Sound on the Canadian Ferry. Howe Sound is just north of North Vancouver. These ferries are quite large, probably as large as any that the Washington ferry system has. But they are not double-enders, that is, they're not open alike on each end. They have a regular bow on them with a big clamshell type bow doors which open when they're at dock.
Stop to the side! Let's go! Go behind! Let's go! Walk my feet! Let's go! Do the quick and quick! And do the quick and quick!
The restaurant on these boats is quite extensive. There were 44 people on the bus on this trip, 20 of which came from Horizon House. This little map shows where Shelt is. Shelt is the largest small city on BC's Sunshine Coast, which is a straight coast that runs from North Vancouver straight up to Desolation Sound. And Shelt is about halfway up, or about 50 miles up. Here, this shot is taken from the float plane, which Jackie and I took on our way up. Half the people went up by float plane, the other half by boat, and it was reversed coming home. This is a shot of the floats at Chatterbox Falls, which is at the end of Princess Louisa Inlet, and these are all private boats up there. It's a popular place for private boating. We are now on our way home out of Princess Louisa Inlet, and the skipper of the boat has taken us along the shore. He zigzagged back and forth from one shore to the other to show us ancient petroglyphs that were carved into the rocks, or painted on the rocks, I guess you might say, many years ago. They're not easy to see, but they were there.
Everything you see is animal life except that bright green seaweed. The olive green on the rock ahead of us, that's an animal, that's a hydroid. But it does leach out and dominate the rock. Like gritty outcroppings would be the granite. Quartz is apparently our
Princess Louisa is a small inlet off of Jervis Inlet, which is the large inlet that comes in from the sea. Princess Louisa Inlet is probably less than 2 miles long and less than a half a mile wide. But it's gorgeous, gorgeous country with absolutely steep, sheer cliffs on each side of the inlet. The entrance of the inlet is a twisting entrance, zigzagging I might say, which probably a boat over 100 feet would have trouble if they were ever to make it at all. We took our boat up there many years ago, so we've been there firsthand. There is a youth camp at the entrance on this zigzag entrance that's been there for many years. As a matter of fact, it was started by a fellow named Hamilton, who was the inventor or the owner of the Hamilton Standard Propeller Company, which are aircraft propellers. This is some of the gorgeous rowing scenery in the area. It's very pristine, very. I doubt if it's ever been logged off in this area because it's really not too appropriate for logging, I don't believe. Oh, there we are going into the little wooden gazebo, which is about 75 or 80 feet up, yards up from the floats. And you can see me creeping along over there on my little three-wheeler, which really was almost no use up there because of the difficulty of the path.
Our hero. Lovely.
The outdoor temperature, according to the coach, but it's close enough. Ken's not sure it's accurate, but it's probably close enough, is reading 80 degrees.
This is North Vancouver. We're on our way home. And in a minute you will see that we stopped at a mall, a very large mall, which had almost everything in it, and probably many places to eat. Almost all stand-up kind of places, not any formal restaurants. Here, Jackie and I bought some crepes. We had chicken crepes, and they were very good. There were, of the Horizon House people, there were a number who also had crepes. In a minute you'll see a picture of them sitting there. There we are. The bus run, incidentally, from Seattle up to Shelt. And Shelt was, as I've already explained, was a place, there's a beautiful yacht, where we made our headquarters. And we stayed in a rather upscale motel with a very nice restaurant. The plane ride took off from Shelt. It was only a 10-15 minute bus ride to the plains. If you're going up by boat, you had to go up to a little port called Egmont, which is about another 30 miles north of Shelt. And then you took your 2-hour ride up to Princess Louisa and the falls. That means you can't take the food home across the border.
Especially fruit.
Yeah, Jackie says especially fruit. They have trained dogs sniffing it, incidentally, so you'd have a hard time doing it.